mesdames, messieurs, ce n'est pas que le peuple congolais ne veut pas des élections, pas du tout. Le peuple congolais veut aller aux élections même demain. Le peuple congolais veut d'abord la sécurité et la paix. Voilà. Il veut alors aller aux élections librement pour se choisir des dirigeants qu'il veut réellement. Les élections qui sont préparées maintenant ne sont pas des élections libres, démocratiques et justes. Car le gouvernement qui dirige le Congo aujourd'hui n'aime pas le peuple congolais.
Let's stop looking at the West for aid. Let's...
The reason why we are here, we call it Great Lake region. Why is it Great Lake region? We need to understand that Congo has got 9 neighbors, direct 9 neighbors. And among the 9 neighbors, we have Uganda, Burundi, and Rwanda. This is the place where we call Great Lake region. And that's where we have a lot of troubles.
So the Reverend Kente is from the Democratic Republic of the Congo. He served as a Catholic vicar in his home country as well as in Belgium and France. He is the president of the Association of Health Communicators. He's written several books on science and articles and has very much a multidisciplinary perspective on history, philosophy, theology, and I know your work is mainly on addressing violence in Africa, particularly within the Democratic Republic of the Congo. Thank you so much for coming tonight. And to your left, we have Dr. Tshibangu, who is the founder and leader of the pro-democracy political movement called the UPA, whose vision is to build and promote the Democratic Republic of the Congo, to care for its people and its land, and also has been working in the UK as a business consultant. Thank you very much for joining us. Interesting to hear your perspective. And my last speaker, I don't think I have a...
I'll present myself. My name is Justin Zinda. I'm here as a journalist. I'm just assisting the Reverend here in translating what they're going to be saying.
Fantastic, very helpful. Brilliant. And Dr. Vincent, you briefly introduced yourself, but I'll give you an official introduction. So Dr. Magombe is a UK-based, internationally recognised Ugandan journalist and broadcaster. He's also well known as a human rights and pro-democracy campaigner, and he regularly appears as an African affairs analyst on mainstream networks such as the BBC, Sky and Al Jazeera, and also lectures at South Bank University. And he's also worked on several creative works, including a drama on Idi Amin, and I understand you're currently working a book on the lack of democracy and political governance in African countries. So lots of food for thought, I'm sure, on that particular topic. So should we start off with everyone doing a couple of comments, and then we'll open it to the floor for questions.
As my conclusion, how do you stop those ones? Just remove these guys. Remove them. It is very, very difficult. We are dying in Congo. They have been killing priests, killing brothers in the Catholic Church, killing NGO people trying to stand up. In Uganda, a man called Besigye has had, I don't know how many types of chemicals put in his eyes. He has been arrested. I work with people like General Sejusa. He has been arrested recently, before the elections. They arrested him again, and so on. I think that through this pain and struggle, we will triumph. Already in Congo, I hear they are forcing that young man not to go forward. But he's determined, he's ready to kill people, to keep going. So my solution is end dictatorships that thrive on extreme exploitation, corruption, nepotism, cronyism, which continue to destroy the national economy, making Ugandans and people in the region poor and imprisoning them in the political hell and whirlwind that we are all witnessing today.
Thank you very much to ensure that we can ensure that our taxpayer money is being well spent. And myself, I work a lot on international development, and obviously a lot of the countries you've just mentioned are recipients of UK aid and money from British governments and other donor governments around the world, like the US. We want to absolutely be sure that the money is, as you say, reaching the beneficiary, that road is being built, that hospital is being built, that teacher's salary is being paid, and that is the greatest concern for the taxpayer, is the concern about corruption. So I think we're absolutely right to tackle down, we should have a zero tolerance for corruption. And I think the UK government is right to put pressure on Uganda, the DRC and others to do that. Richard, can I introduce you to speak on whatever you'd like to talk about? You're all from Uganda?
Yeah, we should have.
You'd like to have DRC next? Fantastic. And Reverend Kente, would you like to say a few words?
C'est toujours une grande émotion de parler. Je veux parler en français. Je m'excuse beaucoup d'abord de parler en français, madame, parce que je ne connais pas votre langue. J'aurais bien voulu parler en anglais, mais je ne connais pas cette langue-là. Prochainement, je vous promets, quand je veux parler,
Je comprends un peu.
Voilà.
Okay. It is emotional to talk about what he's about to talk about DRC, but he cannot really speak in English, so he will be speaking in French.
Donc, je ne reprendrai pas la situation générale du Congo ou de l'Ouganda ou de Rwanda. Notre frère l'a très bien brossé, d'ailleurs je le félicite pour son discours qui a été brillant.
Okay. I will not be talking about the general situation in Congo or in Uganda because the gentleman who spoke early had covered, I think, the full history of that part of the continent.
Par contre, je voudrais dire que pour nous, Congolais, être ici dans ces lieux, le Parlement du Royaume-Uni, est un motif de fierté parce que nous avons une histoire commune avec ce Parlement britannique.
He want to express his gratitude because being at the House of Commons, in the House of Commons here in England, it is a privilege because there is something in common between DRC and England.
Le 20 mai 1903 a été voté ici dans ce Parlement une loi en faveur du peuple congolais.
I think on the 20th of May
1903. 1903.
Okay, 1903, in this parliament, I think there was a law which has been voted in this parliament.
Yeah.
Donc la loi,
About Congo, I think. Yes.
la loi c'était une recommandation que le Parlement faisait, une demande du Parlement au gouvernement britannique lui demandant de s'occuper en toute urgence de la situation catastrophique du peuple congolais dans le territoire qu'on appelait de l'État indépendant du Congo.
It was a law which has been enacted in this parliament of the UK Parliament to take care of the situation which was occurring in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
Et le gouvernement s'est exécuté, le gouvernement britannique de l'époque s'est exécuté et a fait le tour aussi bien de l'Europe que des États-Unis d'Amérique pour qu'on puisse trouver une solution à la situation catastrophique humanitaire du peuple congolais qui allait être exterminé n'eût été cette action du gouvernement britannique.
The action taken by this parliament, the UK Parliament, had involved other nations like the United States and so on to try to stop the onslaught which was going on in the Democratic Republic of Congo.
C'est pour cela que je dis que pour nous Congolais, c'est important, ce Parlement britannique, il est pour nous un endroit de salut.
That is why it is very important. The UK Parliament is very important to the Congolese because it is a place where we can get some salvage. We can solve some of the issues in the DRC.
Et pas seulement le Parlement britannique, mais également tout le peuple britannique.
We are not only grateful to the UK Parliament or the House of Commons, we are grateful to all of the British people.
Parce que tout le peuple britannique s'était levé dans toutes les villes ici en Grande-Bretagne, dans le Royaume-Uni, pour défendre le peuple congolais qui était presque exterminé.
Because the British people all came out to demonstrate, to try to support the Congolese who were being massacred.
Il y avait des manifestations dans toutes les villes ici en Grande-Bretagne.
There were some demonstrations in almost all the cities in the UK related to that issue.
Et cela a été possible grâce à l'action des Britanniques humanistes qui ont voulu défendre un peuple qui était massacré dans le silence.
This action, these demonstrations were made possible because of the human rights activists in the UK who were really supporting the cause of the Congolese people who were being massacred.
Parmi ces humanistes, il y a le plus grand d'entre eux, c'est Edmund Den Morel.
Among those human rights activists, there was a gentleman called
Edmund Den Morel.
Here we are.
Eddie Morel.
Eddie Morel.
Yes.
Et avec lui, il y en a bien d'autres. Morel, il est le fondateur de la Congo Reform Association qui a ici défendu le Congo comme c'était vraiment son bien personnel.
He was the founder of the association in Congo, which was, what can I say, composed or founded as if it was his own property.
Pour Morel, le Congo, c'était son problème.
For Morel, Congo was his personal issue. He was really taking that personally.
Et il a commencé à défendre le Congo à l'âge de 27 ans.
He started defending the Congo, the DRC, at the age of 20. 27, my apologies.
Abandonnant son travail, abandonnant tous ses amis, rien que pour s'occuper du Congo.
Leaving all his friends and all his occupations just to support the cause of Congo.
Et son action a duré 10 années, jour pour jour, nuit et jour, pour défendre le peuple congolais.
His actions lasted 10 years, day after day, to defend the Congolese people.
Donc Morel, il a sillonné tout le Royaume-Uni et tous les États-Unis d'Amérique pour défendre le Congo.
He went all over the UK and all over the United States to defend the cause of Congolese.
Il n'a pas travaillé seul, il y avait d'autres avec lui, notamment Roger Casement, notamment Arthur Conan Doyle, notamment monsieur et madame Harris, notamment monsieur William Washington, notamment monsieur William Shepard, notamment monsieur Isaac Chami.
Yes, he was not alone. He was accompanied by other people who were named. I can't repeat them.
Ainsi que Joseph Conrad.
And Joseph Conrad was one of the persons who joined the
Donc ce sont ces grands humanistes qui ont défendu le Congo au 19e et surtout au début du 20e siècle.
These are the human rights activists who defended the cause of Congolese in the 20th century.
Donc c'est pour cela que le peuple congolais est très reconnaissant envers le peuple britannique.
That is why the Congolese people are very grateful to the British people.
Alors avec votre permission, je vais vous demander de vous lever pour applaudir ces grands humanistes qui ont sauvé le peuple congolais.
With your permission, we are asking you to stand up so we can Thank you.
Maintenant, la situation est revenue malheureusement à ce que Morel et ses amis avaient voulu mettre fin. Malheureusement, la situation est de nouveau de retour.
Unfortunately, the situation has come back to what it was before, despite all the effort made by the human rights activists named beforehand.
Le docteur l'a dit. Donc maintenant, la situation est redevenue exactement celle qui avait prévalu en ce temps-là.
Doctor has said that the situation has returned to what it was before.
Donc c'est pour cela que nous revenons maintenant ici également auprès de ce Parlement britannique qui nous avait sauvés en ce moment-là, de venir également au secours du peuple congolais qui est en train de mourir de la même façon comme en ce moment-là.
That is why we have decided to come again to this great Parliament to come and support the cause of Congolese people who are being massacred again.
Et aujourd'hui, le Parlement britannique n'est pas seul, il travaille, mais peut compter sur des Africains qui sont ici, notamment les Africains de Uganda Federal Control et les Africains l'Union pour l'avenir, qui sont là et qui peuvent travailler main dans la main avec le Parlement pour que cette situation du Congo puisse être résolue et que les massacres s'arrêtent.
And now the UK Parliament is not working alone. It is working with the support of other African activists who are here present to try to stop the onslaught in Congo.
Car en ce moment, ce n'est pas simplement la population du Kivu qui est massacrée, c'est le Congo entier, y compris la ville de Kinshasa, y compris le Kassai, y compris les Bandundu, c'est partout. Et dans la ville de Kinshasa, c'est l'église catholique qui est visée.
It's not only people in the Kivu region who are being slaughtered. Now people from Kinshasa, the capital, are also being victim of what is happening on there.
Les chrétiens sont attaqués dans des églises, ils sont tués dans des églises, ils sont gazés dans des églises. Maintenant, il y a des milices qui sont formées dans des quartiers pour aller s'en prendre aux activistes chrétiens.
Yes, now the Christians are being slaughtered in the churches, and now there is a militia who are being trained to try to kill them.
Il y a une jeune fille de 14 ans qui a reçu une balle dans son sein et qui est aujourd'hui entre la vie et la mort.
There is a young lady who I think is 14 was shot in the breast, and she is really fighting for her life.
Il y a un jeune homme de 18 ans en Bandaka qui passait son chemin, qui a reçu une balle de la police et qui est mort sur place.
There was a youngster in Bandaka who was just passing on the road, and he was shot by the police and he died.
À Kinshasa, un jeune homme ouvrait la porte de l'église pour faire entrer les gens. Il a été abattu par la police devant l'église.
In Kinshasa, the capital, there was a gentleman who just opened the door of the church and he was shot by the police and died.
Donc la situation est très très grave. Il faut que l'on fasse vite.
The situation is grave, it's serious, we need to act very quickly, swiftly.
Mesdames, Messieurs, ce n'est pas que le peuple congolais ne veut pas des élections, pas du tout. Le peuple congolais veut aller aux élections même demain.
It is not that the Congolese people do not want to go through elections. They are ready to go through elections even tomorrow.
Mais le peuple congolais veut d'abord la sécurité et la paix.
The first thing they need is security and peace.
Voilà. Il veut alors aller aux élections librement pour se choisir les dirigeants qu'il veut réellement.
They want to go to the ballot boxes freely to choose the leaders they deserve to have or they want to have.
Car les élections qui sont préparées maintenant ne sont pas des élections libres, démocratiques et justes.
Because the elections which are being prepared now are not just, are not democratic.
Car le gouvernement qui dirige le Congo aujourd'hui n'aime pas le peuple congolais.
Because the government who is leading the country now, DRC, does not like, does not love the Congolese people.
Donc c'est pour ça que le peuple congolais demande qu'il y ait un autre leadership, qu'il y ait un autre groupe de personnes qui dirigent ce pays pour qu'il puisse être en paix et en sécurité.
That is why the Congolese people would like to have another leadership, another part of leadership who can lead the country so we will have peace.
Le peuple congolais, il est comme le peuple qui est avec le 19e, fin 19e, début 20e siècle. Il n'est pas armé, il a les mains nues.
The Congolese people are not armed. They don't have any weapon to fight by.
C'est pour cela qu'il s'adresse au Parlement britannique, au gouvernement britannique, qui est un gouvernement humaniste, qui est un gouvernement qui a défendu ici en Europe le peuple européen qui était lui-même en proie à la dictature.
That is why they are coming to seek support, to look for support from the British government, or the same government which supported some of the people in Europe.
En 1944 et en 1945, le peuple britannique a reçu le peuple américain, le peuple canadien, le peuple australien, pour qu'ensemble ils aient libéré l'Europe qui était occupée par les nazis.
In 44 and 45, the British nation, together with all the allies, came together to go and support people to liberate Europe, I think, with in Germany.
Donc ce n'est pas seulement le peuple congolais qui avait été libéré en 1908, mais également le peuple européen lui-même qui a été libéré en 1944-1945 par les mêmes peuples britanniques.
It's not only the liberation of the Congolese people which happened, we are talking about liberation of the European people as well by the British.
Donc nous faisons appel à l'humanisme du peuple britannique.
We are really appealing to the humanity of the British people to come and support the Congolese.
Quand on arrive ici en Grande-Bretagne, on voit très bien que cette société est multiculturelle, elle est tolérante.
When we visit the UK, we notice that the population here is multicultural and you're having a mixture of culture and nations, which is really important.
Et on voit bien que les gens de toutes les cultures sont heureux de vivre ici en Grande-Bretagne.
And there is harmony in people living in the UK despite the diversity.
Donc c'est à ce peuple-là de Grande-Bretagne qui sait recevoir et qui sait écouter la douleur et les pleurs de ceux qui sont massacrés, à qui le peuple congolais s'adresse.
It is because of this ability of the UK people, the British people, to come to the support of those in need that the Congolese people are coming to ask for that support.
Alors, qu'est-ce faut-il faire? Qu'est-ce que le Parlement britannique peut faire dans la situation qui préoccupe au Congo et dans toute la région des Grands Lacs?
The question is, what can the British government do, or the British people do to support the cause of the Congolese people?
La première chose est qu'il faut établir un bon diagnostic de la situation qui prévaut aujourd'hui dans la région des Grands Lacs.
The first thing is to have a very accurate review of what is happening in the region of Great Lakes.
Le diagnostic des richesses que l'on brandit, généralement, il est faux. Ce n'est pas un bon diagnostic, celui-là.
The evaluation of the resources in that region is not realistic.
Car on ne peut pas enlever les richesses du Congo pour que le peuple congolais puisse être en paix.
You cannot take the resources from the Congolese people and to expect them to be in peace.
Je donne un exemple. On ne peut pas assécher le fleuve Congo parce que le Congo et tous ses affluents au motif que le Congo est trop riche.
You cannot remove all the water from the river Congo and expect that because on the ground that Congo is a rich country, think everything will stay the same, everything will be okay.
On ne peut pas assécher la forêt équatoriale au motif que le Congo est très riche.
You cannot come and destroy the forest in Congo hoping that everything will be okay.
On ne peut pas aplanir les montagnes du Kivu au motif que le Congo est très riche.
You cannot come and destroy the mountains in Kivu expecting that everything will remain the same, everything will be okay.
On ne peut pas aplanir le plateau, le haut plateau du Katanga et du Kasai au motif que le Congo est très riche.
You cannot destroy the mountain in Kasai and Katanga expecting that everything will remain the same, things will be okay.
On ne peut pas éloigner l'océan Atlantique des côtes du Congo au motif que le Congo est très riche.
You cannot move the coast of the Atlantic Ocean from Congo expecting that everything will remain okay.
On ne peut pas du tout déplacer l'axe du soleil sur le Congo au motif que le Congo est très riche.
You cannot move the equatorial line from Congo expecting that Congo will still be okay.
Donc ce diagnostic-là, il est un faux diagnostic.
That review, that analysis is a false analysis.
Les richesses ne peuvent pas être un problème, les richesses c'est plutôt une opportunité, les richesses c'est la vie.
The resources cannot be the cause of the problem. The resources are necessary for the life of people in Congo.
Par conséquent, nous devons établir le bon diagnostic.
We have to do a proper analysis.
Et le bon diagnostic, c'est qu'il y a un mauvais leadership dans toute la région des Grands Lacs.
And the proper analysis is that we have a very bad leadership in the region of Great Lakes. Ces mauvais leaders doivent être dégagés, ils doivent partir pour que la paix et la sécurité reviennent dans les régions des Grands Lacs. Tous doivent partir. those bad leaders need to be removed for peace to return to the region of Great Lakes.
Donc ça, c'est ça le bon diagnostic et c'est ça qui va amener la paix et la sécurité dans la région des Grands Lacs.
That's a better analysis which will bring back peace and security in that region.
Maintenant, vous allez me dire, mais qu'est-ce que le Royaume-Uni peut gagner, va gagner en aidant les peuples du Congo, en aidant les peuples de la région des Grands Lacs?
You might ask yourself, what can the British people or Britain gain from helping people from that region?
La première chose que le peuple britannique, que le gouvernement britannique et son peuple va gagner, c'est qu'ils vont retrouver leur place dans le monde de la nation humaniste.
The first thing is that they are going. The first thing is they are going to recover their place among the nation of human rights, of the people supporting human rights.
Et ils vont aussi honorer la mémoire de leurs dignes fils qui se sont montrés des grands humanistes et qui ont défendu le peuple du Congo.
They are also going to honor the names of the great leaders from the past.
Et le peuple britannique va aussi faire des affaires au Congo avec un gouvernement responsable, avec un peuple qui est aussi un peuple accueillant. Le peuple du Congo, c'est comme le peuple britannique, il est accueillant.
The British government of British people are going to be dealing, they are going to do business with Congolese people and with the new leaders. The Congolese people can welcome them better.
Et il y a une très grande communauté d'hommes qui vivent dans la région des Grands Lacs. C'est une opportunité par rapport à la langue anglaise qui est une langue mondiale pour que ce peuple-là puisse aussi communiquer avec le monde dans la langue anglaise.
The people of Great Lakes, most of them speak English, and they could communicate very easily with British people because they speak English.
Donc voilà donc à peu près ce que je pourrais vous dire par rapport à cette situation. Est-ce que le peuple congolais attend du Parlement britannique et aussi du peuple frère de Grande-Bretagne que nous aimons beaucoup?
That's what I can say for now. Summarize
Thank you very much, Reverend, for those very strong comments. And I think it's absolutely right that every country deserves free and fair elections, and the people of the Congo absolutely deserve to have their voices heard. So thank you very much for coming here today to speak about that. And I'd like to
what support they want to get from UK government. And also we are going to make a recommendation to UN, and we are going to have a further meeting in European Parliament, because we need to have our voices heard if we can achieve something. Yes, we have to continue fighting and advocating for good governance, but we also need support from UK government, from European Union, and UN and other international organizations. So that's why we are here to unite our efforts so that UK government and other institutions can hear our voices, what we want to achieve. What we want now is change. We want to see Museveni out, we want to see Kagame out, and we want to see Paul Kagame out. Those are the programs. That's what I'm saying. I said Kabila out. No, you said Kagame. Oh, sorry. The request is very clear and loud and clear. We want Kabila out, we want Museveni out, and we want Kagame out. But the main culprit is Museveni. Once Museveni is gone, believe me or not, things will change.
Touched by all speakers tonight. The reason why we are here, we call it Great Lake region. Why is it Great Lake region? We need to understand that Congo has got 9 neighbors, direct 9 neighbors. And among the 9 neighbors we have Uganda, Burundi, and Rwanda. This is the place where we call Great Lake region. And that's where we have a lot of troubles. And when you check the borders, you see that the longest border we have, it is with Angola, 2,000 something kilometers. With Rwanda, which is a small country, we've got only 217 kilometers borders. But that's where we have big trouble. And I learned something here when you say that we want all these leaders to go out, which means that we need to prepare new leadership for the region. And I do believe that the new leadership in the, for the region are already there, because Britain, when you check these last 2 decades, you see that British has produced leaders in Africa. The current president of Zambia, he was in this country. And when you check, you know that he was not a top banker or a top solicitor in this country. He was an ordinary person in this country. He was, those who knows the story, he was just a security in Argos. Then he was preparing himself to become a president. Today he's leading one of the countries where we have one of the longest dictatorship in Gambia. So you can see that Britain has a key role to play in what we are doing today. When you take also Zambia, the president who died, Sata, he was in this country. What he was doing, he was not a doctor, he was just a cleaner in Victoria Coast Station here. And he became a president in Zambia. So we have the president of Ghana, the current president of Ghana, he was just living here not far from the parliament here in Elephant Castle. So this is just to tell you that British is a place where they make kings, kingmakers. This is the place. Why? Because of the kind of democracy. The kind of democracy we foreigners who have come here, we have learned, we have really enjoyed. This is the kind of democracy we want to bring back in our countries. There is something in common with this Great Lake region leadership. When you check 4 of them, Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, and Congo, all these leaders are rebels, ex-rebels. Check them out. And then you are asking former rebels to become Democrats. It can't work. So how can rebels change a country or lead a country with democratic principles? It can't work. One of the things I like a Conservative Party because of one principle of Margaret Thatcher. She said that national freedom is key. And this region needs national or regional freedom. People need freedom. You can go to Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, check, you see that. I mean, with due respect with what is happening, people are praising what is happening in Rwanda, but people are not free. What's the point of building a nice building, nice house, and when there's no freedom? Where there's no peace, where there's no stability? They are creating something that it will be very difficult if it takes too long to dismantle. So we are here today, the same way they did, they have a coalition to start from Rwanda, as my brother has explained, Rwanda, Burundi, and then they took control of the region. That's the same thing we want to do here. Ugandan, Congolese, Rwandan, who are really pro-democracy, to rise up and team up with British so that we can pacify the region. That's the meaning of this kind of meeting. So, we Congolese, we have suffered too much, like my brother has said, but we are not the kind of people who hate our neighbors. How can you survive with 9 neighbors if you have that kind of hate in your heart? No, you can't survive, because if you are fighting the one who's in the front, the one at the back will come back and will kill you. So Congolese are generous people, and we want to maintain that, because we have helped these Rwandan, Uganda people came in our country and they stay there for long peacefully. So we want to make sure that this kind of region, Great Lake region we are talking about, the new leadership, is championed by United Kingdom. Why? Because two of the main leaders in this region, they are coming for Commonwealth meeting here in April. And Britain has a say as a democratic nation and a humanity nation who always come to help. So tonight, we do believe that what we are doing today, Eddie Morel was just a simple, ordinary person. And in this country, they do respect ordinary voice. Even in the streets, you can express yourself. We do believe that by giving us such a place to come and make our voice heard, we will see the outcome in the future, and we will really be pleased to work together with your government or your country in a peaceful way, so that now that Britain is no more in the EU, Britain is looking for opportunities, and Congo is offering various opportunities for business and trade. But this can only be done when there is a new leadership style in Congo and in the region, so that our people will benefit. Thank you very much.
And now I'd like to open the floor. Yes, question at the front.
Yeah, Reverend T, that's my name, Reverend T. I'm the Dean of the Pastors in the United Kingdom, the French-speaking pastors. And I used to be a diplomat. I was the Deputy Ambassador of Zaire in this country. And I resigned my diplomatic duties just to serve God. Because my father used to be a pastor from the Baptist. And the Baptist came from the United Kingdom. This is a side of the thing that I want to raise up, because it must be known that actually in Congo, God is working in his own way. That's why it's the churches that are taking the leadership. I want this to be noted, because when you involve God in anything you are doing, you will win. And we believe that the victory is not far, that Congo is near the victory. Because if you see what is happening in the opposition and see what is happening in the majority, as they call themselves, such a disorder, confusion, they don't know where they're going to. Even the election that we're speaking about, nobody knows if it's going to take place or not. But now that they have started killing Christians, as you say, even in churches, that's the worst of the thing that they have ever done. So I want to raise up that point, that even Christians in the United Kingdom have to fight the regime in Congo. And I don't know how it's happening in Uganda about Christians, if they are persecuted, if they're killed, the way it's happening in my country. So, according to the prophecies that have been given from Kimbangu time, who was the first prophet from Congo, I mean, during the colonial times, we should run 4 different presidents. The last one, who is called a stranger, would be worse than the previous one. Now Kimbangu said that we are fighting for the second independence. It would be difficult, but God will intervene. But God cannot intervene without using people. And the people that I have personally in mind, I thank so much the analysis that Reverend from Belgium has done. I don't want to come back to what he has said. But what I'm saying is this, that when Christians will recover their dignity and their honor in Congo, with the help of Christians in the United Kingdom, because most of the British people are Christian up to now, even though Muslims are trying to fight the Christians and so on. But when Christians in the United Kingdom will rise up and begin to fight the regime in Congo, I think there will be a big gain that the British government will win. So if you can include in our recommendations the necessity to involve the churches as well. I heard that the Church of England has already made their position to stand by the Pope in favor of Monsignor Monsengo in Congo. this is something that I want to be raised up and put in the report. That Christian must stand up because they are the one that brought Christianity in Congo. So they cannot let us down. I wanted to, it's not a question, it's a comment that I wanted to make.
They are really good. And I'm so honored to know you because I remember that the meeting we had in Parliament in 2011 with all other leaders. You were there. Thank you very much for being at the front line fighting for good governance in DRC. You mentioned about Uganda and you asked if Ugandans are being killed are Christians. In Uganda it's opposite. 15 sheikhs, head of religion in Uganda, Muslims, 15 sheikhs have been killed in Uganda.
So, you see?
Just in 3 years, 15 sheikhs, the head of religion, Islamic religion in Uganda, they have been killed. Last year, Deputy Inspector of Police was killed, broad daylight. Well, I will not talk about the killings in Uganda, but all prominent people have been killed on a daily basis. But to make the matter worse, so far we have 15 sheikhs being killed, and actually 13 police officers also been killed. But they are all being killed by the regime, not strangers, but Museveni's men are the one doing those killings. So that's what I wanted to say, that in Uganda it's opposite. But I just want to mention one thing about DRC. I want to thank you, that's why I said the Bishop Reverend from Belgium and everybody, Christian leaders here. Thank you so much for standing up for people and fight for good governance in DRC. Because in Uganda, where they have woken up now, we have bishops, they have their umbrella organization called Religious Forum, which they are using all leaders, Muslims, Christians, Pentecostal, they are all coming together under that one umbrella, and they are speaking out against, like, for example, the change of the abolition of age limit and other issues concerning Ugandans. They are speaking out as religious leaders, and I'm so proud of Congolese religious leaders who are standing up against Kabila.
Thank you very much.
The emergency of the fact is that you have heard that Reverend David Ekofo, they tried to kill him. He has run away. He's now in the United States. And they're trying to kill Monsignor Monsengo. Imagine if these two leaders go away from Congo. The situation will become worse. Because now they're killing people inside the churches. So please do something.
Another question, David,
Philip from UCL School of Public Policy, postgraduate student. So I just want to start by saying hello, bonjour, and bote. To start off with, I want to pick up on Richard's question about theme about Museveni and how he's kind of the first domino to fall, and after that, Kabila will fall in the following fellow sort of conglomerates. My question really is, to what extent is this possible, given now Kagame right now is being spoken in such positive light from the West, being known as, Rwanda's being known as the Singapore of Africa, and his centralization of power. To what extent is that really feasible to get him out of power, or out of government in Kigali? Thank you.
We want young people like you always to be at the forefront of fighting for good governance in Africa. And actually, I've been in a number of meetings with you. I'm proud of you. Thank you so much. And I'm sure we have a number of young people here tonight because we invited young people to come in. We want to see young people, young faces at the forefront. About the question, how is it possible? It is very possible. You said Kagame is seen as the darling of West. That, in fact, that is not true. A lot of meetings I attend, it's not the reality. He was, but it's no longer. They know exactly what is happening. Believe me or not, UK government, America, Europe, they know exactly what is happening in Africa, and in particular that part of that part of the region. They know exactly. They know how Museveni is moving machines from Uganda to South Sudan. They know how they are moving machines from Uganda to Eastern Congo. They know exactly what's happening. But they cannot come out in public and say it until they know that they have the support of people from that part of the world. Such meetings, when they are watching right now, they want to hear what we are saying. Are we on their side? Is there really people eager for change? If they get to know that, they will change. But they cannot start anything until we come out, we Africans.
That's right.
And that's why we are meeting here. The moment they know that, they realize that yes, the force is there, they will be on our board.
Thank you. In terms of Kagame and Rwanda, this is why when I started, I began speaking here in my speech, I tried to bust that myth that we have all this development, fast rate of development and so on. But the Rwanda situation is a very unique situation, which, if the world continues having these perspectives on Rwanda, the new genocide that will come in a few years' time is going to be worse than that in 1994. That I can tell you. Because I know exactly, I've been working with some Rwandese people here. What has been happening in Rwanda is that the government has managed to hoodwink and fool the international community. And I'm so surprised that some of the brightest politicians in the West here, and I'm happy to name names, Tony Blair. The other one is Bill Clinton. Tony Blair, one can perhaps even understand his motivations, because once he left leadership here, he set up his so-called Africa something, where he took his advisors from here, and they started literally going to all these countries, several countries in Africa, and saying, we are going to advise the government, to do, but of course the idea is to do business with that government. So one of the countries that was isolated and focused on by Tony Blair was Rwanda. Now, Tony Blair and Clinton, when they speak in the West here, they are better than any lobbyists you can imagine. So I think that a question mark has to be put on these past leaders of Britain and the United States. I was amazed one time, Bill Clinton was giving an interview during one of the elections in Rwanda, which was going to be stolen, they were killing people and so on. And this man said, the world has got to understand Rwanda. Given what it passed through, it cannot have the same democracy as us in the West. I think we need to leave Africa, some of these African countries like Rwanda, to do their own type of thing. That is completely wrong. As I've said, and I repeat this, the Hutu majority are completely and utterly alienated from all power structures within Rwanda. A few Hutus are being given jobs here and there, but those are supposed to be, you have to plead allegiance and so on. When you hear Rwanda has the biggest number of women MPs, please go and find out who those women are. Most of them are Tutsi, and if you are Hutu, then you have to pay allegiance to Kagame. Now, the problem is that that big majority has been trying to fight back. It has been joined, by the way, by a big section of Tutsi, given the fact that the generals and others who have been killed, the fellow was killed in South Africa, and others, from exile, are Tutsi people. So the idea is, if we don't address the issue of Rwanda and stop what is going on there and bring to notice what Kagame is doing, the genocide that will come, we will all be shocked, but don't ever be shocked, because you will say on this day, someone said it. It's going to be worse than 1994.
Thank you very much.
Sowers University of London. I'm doing my MSc, Masters in Science, Violence, Conflict and Development. I've got 3 questions which are based on my thesis of this year, which is looking at the border security and management within the region of the DRC and Rwanda, plus internal displacement and conflict between the Great Lake nations. And so what I want to find out is, first of all, what is the role of the AU in this as a discussion of trying to remove Museveni, since you've identified them as one of the main propagators of the instability in that region. What's the role of the AU? Second of all, how important is border security and management between, especially regions of the DRC and Rwanda? Because as you obviously know, during what was called the Great World Wars which were fought in the DRC, a lot of resources, minerals were stolen from there by Zimbabwe, Angola, South Africa. A lot of people went there and took the minerals from that nation. So how then do you stabilize that, and how will you also monitor it without the help of the Western help? Well, that's what I want to really find out. How do we keep a close lid on this internally without seeking help from outside? And my third question is, in terms of aid, what is the solution if we're not going to get aid from the Western world? What is the alternative? Because if there's no aid, there's not going to be any as I call it, trickle down economics to the people who are living on next to nothing. What would be the solution to them? Yeah, they're my three questions.
Yeah, all of AU. First, we need to understand, when you look at Africa, I always say we have three Africans. We have Commonwealth African, we have Francophone African, and then we have Arabic African. Why I'm saying that, you will see next month in Commonwealth meeting, only country who belong to Commonwealth will come. And then the rest, they are outside. So when they come here, there is an agenda they put together in common, they will follow. And then they will go back to Africa. Then you will see the Francophone countries also will go with France. They have their own agenda. Then you have the Arabic country also, they will go for League Arab. They have their own agenda. Then you have three Africans coming to the same continent with three different agendas. Now, coming back to Rwanda, as you say, what the EU is doing. So when you check the history of the problem we have in the Great Lake region, it's all about one tribe. There's one tribe who wants to dominate the rest of the people there, the Tutsi tribe. From Uganda, which the tribe belong, where the President Museveni belong, and the one in Rwanda also. So they are trying to suppress the people in these two countries and in Congo. And to do it, the best way is business. So we need to understand the dynamic between politics and business here. Why people are praising President of Rwanda? Because he has put business at front and then politics after. In business, it depends on who's giving you the opportunity to make money. And then people follow, because there are companies in this country who need minerals. Rwanda don't have a mining concession, nowhere. But because they are looting in Congo, they said, hey, we can produce you coltan, cassiterite, wolframite, tungsten, name it. Because I've been to this border region, Goma, between Rwanda and Burundi. So Rwanda and Congo. So I know what is going there because of my business background in mining. So he's offering them something he doesn't have. And the company here, for you to have mobile phone, they work daily. So I'll give, for you to understand the dynamic here is, I went to South Kivu in mining prospection there in coltan. They told me that a year ago, the Rwandan came there and they were digging diamond coltan there and crossing over to sell. And they are making millions. And when you check even the statistics today, Rwanda is at the top in the list, but they don't have any concession of coltan. How? Because they have secured these foreign mining companies that we can produce, we can supply. But the same people, when they move out from Congo, they left the mining concession behind. The Congolese, my own people, I asked them, the Rwandan came here without equipment, without tractors. They were able to produce and then supply. What are you doing? So we've got the land, but because of the lack of leadership in the country, where to tell people how to do business with the West, and then, you know, the company here, they have to move on. They have to produce daily. They need consignment. So when you are talking, what you are holding is the blood in your hands. He doesn't care. For him, the business must continue. So when politics and business come together, you need to know which side to stand. Now, talking about aid, you know, the problem we have in Africa is simply bad management. Because we can help our own people with what we have in the land if we have a good governance. But because we portray that, yes, for we to help to build a school, we need the aid from outside, even to build a toilet. In my church, where I belong, we were raising the money to help one of the, I will not name the country, one of the country in Africa to build a toilet. And even when you check on TV, so there's some NGO in this country raising the money to build the toilet for people in Africa. It is because the leaders don't have the vision to know what is very important for our own good. Because if somebody else has to come and build a toilet for us, then this is a serious problem. You see? So we can start with that. That's why we say the new leadership, the vision is very important. What are we bringing for our own people? And what we have in the land, the West will always need it. That's why we need the partnership, like it or not, because we don't have the technology at this time to transform what we have. Therefore, that's the way God has made the world. He has given to this one minerals, and He has given this one technology so that we can put things together. I do believe that when African leaders will start thinking about business at front, how to do business to help our people, there will be a lot of change.
Richard.
Yes, let me add on to what is being donated for. But in Uganda, aid has become a source of income for the regime, for the government. For example, refugee scandal, which we have right now. They tripled the number of refugees in Uganda, which they claim to be refugees in Uganda, so that they can get more money to fund for the government to fund for his military operations. The government is actually, to be honest, the government Uganda is bankrupt at the moment because last month the government minister for finance was going to get a loan to pay for salaries, staff salaries, government, civil servant salaries, to get a loan to pay for civil servant salaries. And when that came public, they changed the tune and they said, no, we are getting a loan, not pay for all public servant salaries, but some, but still what? Servants. How can a government get a loan from a bank to pay for, salaries? So that is the situation. Now the money from aid is being used to pay for operations, government military operations. I'm going to give you an example of Somalia. We have our forces in Somalia. That is another source of income for the current regime in Uganda, whereby Uganda forces in Somalia, they are not being paid. But all the money comes, they channel it to fund the government operations somewhere else, especially in DRC. What military personnel are doing in Somalia, they are selling weapons to their enemies to sustain themselves when they are there. And this is out in public, in papers. Military officers in Somaliland, Uganda military officers, they were selling food which is meant to be for soldiers to get money. That is the problem. So the moment we agree that aid should be there, it's not going to the people. If that was the case, I have no problem. And ever since that, why Uganda is in this situation? Because aid was cut. And now UK government, what it's doing is putting the money direct to organizations. That's why we have scandals whereby government officers and military personnel, they are attacking those organizations. The Great Lakes Study, it's called the Great Lakes Study Center, was attacked 5 times and even closed down. And there is another organization, which other organization which was closed down? Action Aid. So that is the problem, because the government is no longer getting the aid. Now they are trying everything to frustrate organizations which are getting aid. That is the situation. On the EU role, I'm sorry to say, AU. Yeah, AU. I'm sorry to say this, but I don't have, what can I say? I don't want to be so much, but I don't have trust in AU, because that is a bunch of corrupt leaders getting together in one room. When you look at it, who is going to speak against Museveni in AU leaders? They're all like him. And if you're focusing on AU, I'm so sorry. That is an organization which is there to waste our time. But in future, when we get good leaders, AU is a good thing. Trust me, I support it. Yeah. That is when we get good leaders.
I think on the issue of African Union, it's completely true that it's just a club of the thieves. When they are together, they plan what am I going to give you and so on. So AU, African Union, it has some wonderful economic programs and all this, but on issues of democracy, human rights violations, completely useless. It's a dead organization. But I agree with someone who said we need to have hope, because there are some excellent things going on in some parts of Africa. Take West Africa, the role that ECOWAS is playing in democratizing the region. The ECOWAS forces went to Gambia. This guy who was supposed to be so powerful, just like Museveni, and said, you are going. He went. They went to Ivory Coast. When the guy of Senegal was trying to bring problems during elections, they warned him, we are going to come in. And he stopped. So if you look at the pattern of, and the rate, how rapid democratization is happening in the West African region, is due to that organization, ECOWAS. Now, that's why I was talking about SADC, because there's a lot of hope in SADC. For an organization to be proactive like ECOWAS, you need to have the leaders themselves to be democratic. So in South Africa, we had a very corrupt, very useless guy, Zuma. If he's in power, he's not going to shout. He's not going to come to Congo. We now have some new leadership. I don't know what they are, but it's a sign of hope. That is South Africa, Angola, and Zimbabwe. Those are the main things. So I can see some wind of change starting to happen in Southern African region. The mere fact that you can take off Zuma, who is very corrupt in a country like South Africa. In Angola, Dos Santos, who was as powerful as Museveni, is pushed aside, and the new leader is now clamping down on corruption. So the problem really is that in our region, apart from SADC, as I say, we don't know what they will do, but we are the ones to ask them. We should be shouting about them. The East African community is just perhaps as worse as the African Union. East African community has no vision, it has no plan to democratize this region. But of course, how do you expect Museveni to democratize himself? So that's the problem of East Africa. It's a very small place, so it's a club of 3 people or 4 people. And they're all, the majority of them are non-democratic, Kagame, Museveni, and so on. So I think that's what the problem. But if we can also push people in our region to start thinking in the same way as the West Africans, ECOWAS, and the Southern African region, I think we'll have a lot of movement on the ground.
If I can just add to your point about aid, I've spent a great deal of time in East Africa visiting a number of aid programs. And I think we have to remember that absolutely we must crack down on any money which is being abused in the system. And in fact, our new Secretary of State, Penny Mordaunt, for International Development, she's been extremely strong saying taxpayer money, we need to ensure it's getting to people who need it the most. but I need to also make sure we can't pull all aid programs, because the people that I've seen on the front line are the most poor and the most vulnerable, and they do need access to school and education, they do need access to fresh water, they do need that hospital and that clinic to go to. And actually a lot of British nurses and doctors are going out there as volunteers with things like NHS International, and actually they provide a really valuable service. So I want to see kind of end, we don't want to have long-term dependency, but we do want to help African countries have sustainable development. So how can we give you the skills to stand on your own 2 feet, so ultimately we don't need aid in the future at all? Another question at the back. You got quick comment. We're conscious of time. Yes.
Notre ami a posé des questions très importantes. Nous avions bien répondu ici. Je voudrais juste ajouter quelque chose par rapport à l'aide.
Okay. He thinks that the gentleman there asked very good questions, and the panel answered very well. But you want to add something concerning aid?
Il est vrai que la population des Grands Lacs en général demande de l'aide.
It is true that the population of the Great Lakes are asking for aid.
Pour la simple raison que une grande partie de la population vit dans des camps de réfugiés.
Mainly because most of the population there, some of the population there are living in refugees camps.
Et un camp de réfugiés, c'est comme une prison.
And those camps are like prisons.
Et quand on est en prison, on doit être nourri.
When you are in prison, you need to be fed.
Sinon, on meurt de faim.
Otherwise, you're going to die.
Donc, ce que demande la population de la région des Grands Lacs, c'est d'être en sécurité et d'être libre.
What we are asking for people in the Great Lakes is to be in security and in peace.
Donc, à ce moment-là, ils vont produire leur nourriture, ils n'auront pas besoin d'aide.
Then they can produce their own food and they're not going to need any help.
Donc, la situation dans les Grands Lacs aujourd'hui, c'est comme la situation de l'Europe en 1940-1945.
The situation there is like what was in Europe in 44-45.
Donc notre peuple, il est occupé et c'est pour cela qu'il ne sait pas produire à manger.
But our people are occupied, that is why they don't have time to produce food.
Quant à l'Union africaine, c'est un club, aujourd'hui c'est un club de dictateurs.
As far as the African Union is concerned, it's a club of dictators.
Donc ils ne peuvent pas, à ce moment-là, quand on est un dictateur, on ne pense pas au bien-être de sa population.
Because of that, they do not think on the well-being of the people.
Mais les grands problèmes auxquels l'Afrique fait face aujourd'hui,
the biggest problem Africa is facing today,
ce sont les bases militaires étrangères.
The problem is about military bases of foreign countries.
Et ce sont ces bases militaires étrangères qui maintiennent en place des régimes de dictateurs.
Those bases are supporting dictators to stay in power.
Donc c'est pour cela qu'il est urgent que ces bases militaires étrangères soient démantelées de l'Afrique.
That is why those military bases need to be removed from Africa.
Donc la question des frontières, elle ne se pose pas en Afrique en général.
The problem of borders do not normally pose any issue in Africa.
Car le peuple africain c'est un peuple accueillant, je l'ai dit tout à l'heure ici.
Because African people are normally welcoming and kind people, welcome everybody.
En situation normale, quand tout va bien, le peuple africain, ils vont d'un pays à un autre parce qu'ils sont chez eux.
When the situation is peaceful, African people move from one country to another because they believe everywhere is home.
Donc le problème se pose maintenant parce que la population, surtout des Grands Lacs, est prise en otage par un groupe de dictateurs qui veut s'emparer du pouvoir et qui veut tuer la population.
The situation is that the problem is because they are normally being maltreated by dictators. They are not free.
Voilà ce que je voulais ajouter.
That's what I wanted to add for now. Thank you.
There are a huge amount of challenges still in Africa. I mean, some of the poorest communities that I've been to visit, they have such daily hardships. They just don't have access to really basic resources that in the UK we really take for granted. And I visit some of the really kind of remote rural communities in places like Rwanda. I remember I gave an employability workshop and did some enterprise training up in northern Rwanda. And I literally went to villages where they don't have access to bank accounts, they can't get access to credits, they can't actually set up their business and have a loan, they have no kind of access to skills training. So I think the big challenge is how can the West leverage its expertise and share that with African countries who want it and with the people that need it. And I think that's why, to be honest, the aid system is going to be around for a while, because the ultimate aim of aid is how do we build a world free from extreme poverty so that everybody has access to the most basic resources and that we don't leave anyone behind. And we're a long way off from that. I mean, the SDGs agenda is to have the global goals achieved by 2030. That is a really short time frame. I think it's absolutely unachievable that we will reach that. But I do think it's a good objective for the world to have a global structure and a system to say that we do want to tackle poverty, we do want to work on things like water and sanitation, access to employability. We have a lot of work to do. So my view is, and I don't work for the British government, but I do a lot of work with local partners on the ground. I've been out myself to run Dragon's Dance competition in Sierra Leone and help young entrepreneurial Africans that I've met who have great ideas and they just want opportunity and they just can't get access to credit or they just can't get access to training, and that's what a lot of Western organisations can provide. So I think where there's a need and there's a demand and Western organisations can fill that demand, we absolutely should be partnering. But as I said, the long-term development goal should be that all of these countries stand on their own 2 feet and that you can have your own governments looking after your own local citizens. But I think we have to acknowledge that we're not there yet and it's a long journey. And actually we don't want to leave the poorest behind, and if we can help them, I think it's our moral duty that we should. I'm going to take 2 more quick questions. We're finishing in 10 minutes, so
just
really
one
quick.
thing
Yes.
on what you said, because I think this is really important. I personally, what do I want from the West? I will refuse your aid anytime if you give me democracy. Because then you are giving me a government that instead of stealing this money, and they're stealing billions, we're talking about billions of dollars, that money will build the water boreholes, it will build schools, and so on and so on. Now, I think for a long time, the West has focused on aid and economics. We want to do business with you, but we also help you. In other words, keeping us dependent on this aid. If the West can reverse right now and start supporting democracy movements and democratization, so that within the next 5 years, if we have across Africa governments that are responsible, that they are not going to steal the money, that use the money for good priorities, I can tell you, within 10, 20 years, we will not need your aid at all. And we'll be doing such good business that, you know, all of us will be the winners.
But I think everyone wants to greater governance.
First, I would like to thank the people that organized this gathering of the Great Lakes region. And I'm happy that I'm speaking last. I'm hoping that my message sticks with you for some time and actually moves on things from just discussion to something tangible. I'm going to make 2 comments, and they're going to be brief. And I would start by just you picturing if you're driving on a motorway and you find someone, his car's broken down, and he's seated in that car, maybe talking on a phone, relaxing, and I'll ask you, would you stop to help this person? Most of us would just drive by, think he's okay. Possibly he's going to be towed away. But if you found that person, his car is broken down, and he's trying to push that car, and he's fighting through the rain or something, most probably you stop, give them a hand to get them moving. This is the story where we are. As the Great Lakes region, we can cry, we can talk, we can mock, we can do anything, but until we start and talk in the language these dictators, these cunning dictators understand, we will be sitting on a motorway and people would drive by. They would do business with these other dictators. I will not specify what the action should be, but I'll tell you, the West knows what is going on. The West would want to stop you. They have a good heart. They're not going to help you when you're seated in the car doing nothing about it. You need to be acting. You need to start working anyway so that they can help you. I hope I'm talking to adults. I haven't seen a young one here. I hope you understand that we need to take ownership of our problems. I have seen you discuss at length aid. Aid is default in itself. It shouldn't be. And I'm so happy that Dr. Vincent has mentioned, give me democracy, give me freedom to be an entrepreneur any day and cut aid. And I'll give an example. Most of you, I presume you have mortgages or you're paying rent. If tonight you went home and your rent has been increased by possibly £200, you're not going to throw a tantrum. You'll squeeze your way and find a way to deal with your issues. If aid was cut today to Uganda, to Rwanda, to any, tomorrow we would leave. Tomorrow we would think of better ways to earn and to support our people. Let's stop looking at the West for aid. Let's seek partnership from them. Let's join hands as people who have been aggrieved, because the people down there have no chance. The opposition is a waste of time. They are in a bottle. They can't do anything. They can't hold a meeting like this. We can. Let's rise up. Let's work together, if not for ourselves, for the people there. If not for those people there, for the generations to come. For they will hold us. They will ask, what were you doing in the UK when you could go to the parliament? What did you do? And let the country fall to such low for us to even deny that we belong to these countries. Thank you, and God bless you.
How we can work with international donor governments like the UK to support you. So I'd like to thank you very much to our extremely distinguished panellists and very much to our international visitors for coming here tonight. And I know we do have the room for a bit longer, so I do encourage you all to stay and to talk to each other and to talk more about this really important issue. And thank you very much for coming this evening.
Alors bandeko to uti ko silisa conférence ya Grand Lac ndene ebisaki bino moko uti ko landa. Il n'y a pas de commentaires à faire, alors que nous avons intervention. Il y a des gens qui ont quand même point de vue na bango. Par rapport à comment dirais-je, conférence au Utikoleka. Toyeba, eloko nini o bazo kanisa, est-ce que ma solo auto solo n'a pas na lelo? Est-ce que va trouver solution nango ou bien zali ndenge na uteko ebisa bino ne bandeli zali karaba ba raconte et sala marango mais na à fin de compte eloko moko ya sika ezalité. Alors na kei nazo passer micro nanga. Tozo passer micro to mona qui est pas zala qui azo sala pe protocole. Bonsoir papa.
Bonsoir maman.
Kombo na yo papa.
Oui, évangéliste Ben.
OK. Alors papa Ben évangéliste eloko ni no kokoloba eloko ni no saisir na réunion ya poko na lelo.
Bon, eloko na saisir ezali que pose la solution elikambo, il faut yeba problème na ngwesika ni ne bandi. Alors problème ya Grand Lac ezali ko banda na Uganda. Museveni nde architecte ya instabilité nyonso za na kati ya Grand Lac. Mais vous vous rappelez, yende alobaka na secrétaire particulier na ye que Zwa Mzee Kabila kende ko pesa ye na Kagame na armée rwandaise bakende ko benga na Mobutu. Et c'est ça la source des problèmes jusqu'aujourd'hui. Des millions de Congolais bakufi à cause de la décision wana. Yango wana sikoto ye po to mona pe ba British comme bango nde bazo CGP na Commonwealth. Mais ba yebisa bango obino ko bazo saleza yango bien te. Alors à partir de wana, il faut qu'on tenir vraiment na gorge et c'est un problème. Mais Museveni c'est le grand architecte parce que Kagame azalaka chef de la sécurité na ye. Alobino tolembi tinda biso epa na biso. C'est comme ça que Kagame a comment konze pa na bango. To une histoire nyoso. Donc voilà, to réunion ezali habitude te ya to chamakelele. Mais il faut nano ko digue na se. Trop maquillé les habientés, trop bande na scène de yangwana.
Merci.
Bien.
Awa to moni bango pe na poka na lelo to luka pe to passer bango parole to ba point de vue na bango par rapport à la conférence à poka na lelo. Bonsoir maman.
Bonsoir maman.
Est-ce que vous pouvez se présenter kombo na yo et puis ozana?
Kombo nanga maman Nadine.
Oza maman pasteur, oza politicienne.
Maman intercesseuse na église na biso ya Peniel Church.
Alors maman, par rapport à la conférence, eloko ni no retenir.
Bon, na conférence l'équipe vraiment bien, mais na sepeli mingi na intervention ya moto ya suka. Donc, alobi biso ba mindele ba ebi makambo ezoleka, ba ebi nyonso. Apesi exemple ya moto avandi na autoroute, apesi exemple donc kitoko alobi il faut biso moko totelema, il faut biso moko. Donc intervention na bi to tika makambo ba aide, to tika makambo wana to bosa na biso moko ba africain. To si to telema na nous pona biso moko après mindele me bakoya sima. So to zotela ka mindele. Eloko eko marché donc na sepeli penza na intervention ya moto asuka alobi penza très bien.
Merci beaucoup. Alors, na kepe na maman na biso na moni awa maman na biso Esther. Bonsoir maman.
Bonsoir maman Mido.
La kalisi qui combattante sila esenga romona.
Ezali maman ekosila te tant que mboka eza na occupation ekosila te.
Alors maman na ngai okokolo banini par rapport ya conférence balobi to lembi pe ba conférence ango to lembi est-ce que koya ya lelo awa to kozwa solution na oyo yoki na pokwa na lelo.
Vraiment po nanga o na yoki solution ya Afrique ezali batu bazwa conscience. Crise ya Congo ezaka a Congo te. Lokola tokutani ya ba Ougandais, ba Rwandais, je crois Kenya, Tanzanie pe na banzi. Soki biso nyonso to prendre conscience que non lokola Congo ezolela. Lobi pe Ouganda kolela, lobi pe donc toza peuple moko toza l'ensemble. To bunda na cause ezobundisa ba Congolais parce que soko landi ba intervention mututu azo reconnaître que ba Ougandais ba Rwandais ba koti bazo yi ba richesse na biso. Alors batu nyonso so ba comprendre que non toza lokola bana papa leki bana mama leki bana boy ba musu ba kotel bazo boma baninga biso ba musu to pekisa to sangana to défendre Congo ekolonga. Donc eloko soki elamusi vraiment conscience ya ba africain nyonso o bazo tour na biso ekosunga. Et puis eloko mususu ezali Kobunda ba mindele oyo bazotinda ba Rwandais ba yiba richesse à Congo. Pourquoi pas bokende direct na ba Congolais bosomba? Olie bozwa mbongo bosomba botinda ba tumusu ba boma. Eza drôle. Eza mutazana biloko azoteka yo tindi mutu so yibela yo atekela yo ya bandi ko boma yibi biloko ne. C'est mieux mundela leka direct na Congolais yo moka somba. Donc quelque part malheur ya ba africain ya ba Congolais za mindele. Vraiment eloko wana nde soki tozwi solution na ba mindele to bundi pe na mindele to longi nda Afrique kangola.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci maman Midi.
Alors toyo kapé tomoni pe maman na biso pe awa maman azali awa toyo kapé maman. Bonsoir maman.
Bonsoir.
Maman eloko nino ko koloba par rapport à conférence à lelo au trouver en ndenge nini. Est-ce que c'est la première fois au participer dans ma conférence à Boyo bio yaka déjà?
Bon, pour na ezamba na liboso awa eloko na sepeli po ezali esalaka nga pasi mingi makambo ya Congo vraiment ndenge bazozwa ba stratégie il faut nanu balongola nanu ba leader wana po Afrique ezala bien. En tout cas na sepeli souci na nga ezalaka vraiment Congo ndenge nini toko nana kolongola biso lokola baza makamba bazotia déjà ba stratégie balongola bango. En tout cas naza na esengo mingi na yebi ke esi esalami po il faut balongwa tout moni pasi mingi toza na mboka kitoko ta mususu ovandi boyo oza na eloko akosa alo mboka na biso koki ovandi pe ozwi pe bamo ovandi pe très bien mais tozomona pasi tolembi nga na lembi.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien.
Are you from? Yeah. Oh, all right. Okay. So, do you have something to say about this conference tonight?
I'm pleased to be here because first and foremost, it's giving me an opportunity to understand where we as a diaspora, where we are mentally, and where we're heading, and the problems that we're facing and the solutions that we are coming up with. And it's really important because as each generation comes along, there needs to be an awareness of what's happening in the political field. And being someone who's studying politics at a master's level, it's important that these type of events are held, especially when your home country is involved. I'm Congolese, so I need to be here to understand what's going on. And so I would really appreciate it if more people my age and above, especially people my age, will come and really participate in this kind of events, because as they were saying, we're the future, and because we're the future, we need to understand what's going on, and we need to be able to let the adults let's be able to hear what the adults are saying, and for us to be able to implement a new solution, because they've been through it, they've lived through independence, the independence period, they've lived through as they've been here in the UK as a diaspora, but now we, the young people, who've gone to academia, who've gone through so much, we're now the solution. We're now the solution. You give us what you've gone through, and we'll give you the solution, But at the end of the day, like I said before, I'm very happy to be here, and I want to see where Congo goes. I want to see where, the relationship with Rwanda goes, and everything else. So yeah, it's been a pleasure being here, and hopefully the future's bright. Yeah.
Thank
you very much. Thank you.
Okay, it's Congolese media, yeah? Okay. Yeah, do you have something to say about this conference tonight?
I love the conference because it was very enthusiastic, and it's geared towards change. And we hope through the discussions, our countries can have choices that will help them improve and have better governance.
Do you think we're going to have a solution about those kind of meetings?
We may have a solution. I don't think we'll have a solution by talking about things, but we can have a solution by doing things. Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much.
Thank you too.
Yeah. So, okay, we've got a big man here. Yes, can you say something about this conference?
The conference has been lively, has been very sober. Everybody was, actually I was heartfelt to see or hear people from Congo, DRC, what they were saying about the decay of democracy in Congo, the blatant disrespect of people's wishes, people's aspiration. People want change. Kabila has failed the country, has failed the region with his financer, General Museveni, and the neighboring sister state, Rwanda, plundering the economy of DRC. But people have to remember, small Uganda is playing with the giant Congo. People one day they are going to rise up and they will crush these countries. The best way is these leaders to respect the wishes of the people of these countries, so that coexistence, so that we can live in peace. There is no point why a leader will insist that he's the only one who is able to lead the country infinity. It is not there. It's unbelievable. So we sympathize and we feel touched for the recent killings in Congo of unarmed people, of religious leaders, fathers. People are running away from Congo, going to exile. This is unacceptable. And my appeal to the people of Congo is to work together with all forces, democratic forces in the region, in Uganda, in Rwanda, so that peace can prevail in the country, in this region. Every time we have to continue trying to demand for fair and free elections in these countries, not only in Congo, but in Uganda, in Rwanda, in Burundi. Well, this is what the message I have to tell the people of Congo. Very soon, liberty will come to Congo. So you need to continue working. Merci beaucoup.
Merci beaucoup.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, Madame Boka.
Voilà. Bon, qui à la conférence, Toyo Kapé, point de vue à maman. Bonsoir, maman.
Bonsoir, maman Nanga Boni. Mama nazana message moko ya munene po na biso na oyo tokutani lelawo. Na ndenge tokutani na baninga mosusu. Bao bazana mboko ba uboma Congo. Na biso moko ba na Congo nzambe atandi loboko akimia so makambo eleki awa ekotambola na ndenge akimia po tosangana po eloko ya koboma eza elengi te na mboka yango tosengi kaka bolingo nzambe atanda loboko na mwana na biso po likama yango mpe akenda na kimia pe nakumisi nzambe na ngai ndenge toye mpe tozongi na kimia nyonso eleki na kimia lokumu ezongi mpe na merci.
Merci.
Okay.
Oui, tozo continuer pe toza pe na papa na biso awa bonsoir.
Ah mama ezaki sengo mingi oyebi biloko ndenge oyo il faut tozaka toujours ba occasion ndenge oyo po tozo occasion ya koloba mama ka mususu oyo toza lokola peuple opprimé. Alors soki occasion boye monani eza sengo mingi non seulement pour na biso moko mais lokola tosangana na bamboka mususu ezolakisa ke oyebi l'union fait toujours la force. Alors eza ba occasion malamu. Et puis, surtout quand il y a un bateau en boko, il y a occasion de faire malamu mingi. Il faut me défendre boko na biso na niveau nyos.
Ozali yo pe politicien.
Ngai nazalaki naza politicien te naza toloba peut-être tianga mingi na cadre ba intellectuel professeur ya université na mboka et puis naza pe ba université awa na pesa cours mais nazane na ba mi ba politicien.
Okay. Est-ce que papa vous croire que na ba réunion a boye to kozo solution parce que on dirait batubaye na ba parlement ça fait des années ça continue toujours ba réunion ba conférence est-ce que yango ndeko eko trouver solution
mama oyebi mikolo likambo yaka yeba na kate ezalaka toujours bongo moto wana akokufa akufa kata sala kana yaka mukolo mususu akosala jango abukani akufi esalemaka donc on ne sait jamais continuons toujours essayer en essayant solution mona naka nakanisi mukolo mususu on ne sait jamais peut-être mbalo yo ya solution yango soko landaki ndenge ba conférencier bazali koloba balobi bazolinga réunion yo eza lokolo ezalaki na 1904 donc oyo tango ezalaki ya 1904 tango mosusu mpe baoyo précédaki yango avant bakanisa toujours ekozalaka kaka ndenge ezalaka ya liboso mais oyo wana ye koproduit baeffet nango positif c'est très positif c'est très probable qu'ezala na effet direct oyo escompté. Merci beaucoup maman.
Alors toza pe la papa na biso sorry yeah toza pe na papa na biso tobengaki doyen aza papa aza koko pasteur leader politicien nyonso bonsoir.
Mais bonsoir Marceline, je suis très content de te voir là.
Papa, vous avez un message à couper ça par rapport à la conférence Yalelo. Est-ce que tu peux retenir Nini?
Non, c'est très importante parce que les concertations entre les représentants, il y a peu de grands lacs. Mais il faut tout le honnêtement, les bateaux, ils lutter pour le changement dans le Mokanabiso. Les Ougandais, les lobby, les Congolais, les lobby. Donc, toujours le canini, toujours le dictateur balongwa pour le pays des grands lacs et se retrouver dans l'esprit de la démocratie. Parce que n'a pas dictateur moyen moqué que la libération des athées. Bateau a toujours n'a pas si. Et puis si on est dans Congo, toujours dans l'élection. Élection comme ça là dans n'engeni. To yebi que mutuana atabo gagner élection à repère sa bilan de l'athée. Donc il faut que tout le cas moyen balongwa. Alors Bareno est très importante parce que yango ko permettre d'abord que bino bato bozo bunda sur le terrain boye bana pour action ya moto moko ndenge yo lobaka souvent musapi moko eko sokola longité mais musapi mita nous sommes voter en place moko eko sokola longi plus facilement et plus rapidement. Donc na sepeli vraiment ko participer na réunion oyo et puis point na ngai on a tiaki faut na loba les loboye Congo mutazo bundira biso ndambe yango wana omoni que tango ba politicien bazo kokate koyokana te nzambe apesi musala na bandimi eza ba chrétien catholique eza ba protestant eza ba laïque pardon ba pentecôtiste o ba bengi ba guide de réveil mingi bazo telema sikoyo wana eza eza tango ya nzambe ndenge kimbango alobaka et cause la passe kasi nzambe ko intervenir na puissance na ye. Alors le quoi anglais bango bato amemela kabiso christianisme na linga ki ba chrétien anglais base à la sensibiliser pe na problème wana d'intervention personnellement na pesi pour ceux qui ba anglais ba chrétien ba sangani na ba gouvernement to ko na suka mbula te ba changement ko salema Donc le message nanga eza yango wana. Il faut tout sangana. Même na kati na Congo, il faut tout sangana. La division quand des antinate, même abiso et pas mon côté. Donc l'unité fait la force. Voilà. Quand on est uni, on est fort. Quand on est divisé, on est faible. Donc les gens qu'on a retenu na réunion lelo, na sepeli vraiment qu'on participer. Voilà.
Merci. Voilà, Tozoko.
Bonsoir maman.
Alors papa, toza en direct ya Congo Synthèse ezali média na biso en Angleterre. Tomoni yo awa na kati ya conférence outi musika na Belgique. Message nini tokoki ko retenir osala ki vraiment exposer moko ya kitoko makasi. Alors bandeko bazolanda yo awa na Congo Synthèse. Message nini papa ko pesa peuple oyo aza peut-être ko tia motema na bino basango.
Liboso na pesi bino na Congo Synthèse mbote na bino mingi pe na sepela mingi na ndenge bosala mosala pona mboka na biso po mas bolosala ezaka mosala pona mboka na biso yango na ngana sepela mingi na pesi bandeko pe banso balanda Congo Synthèse mbote na bango siko nene tokoki to makambo nini tobalosela epa na biso po tosi nini tosala biso nyonso tozobunda pona mboka na biso ebima na bowumbu oyo baye komemela biso na bango na bato motema mabe yango na biso nyonso tozali nde elongo ndenge omoni toye awa pona kolobela biso nde toye awa na kati ya parlement ya Grande-Bretagne pona koyebisa bango ke bango bato babikisaki biso na 1800 na 1908 babikisaki ndeko so bango bazalaka te bakongo bamosusu bakongole biso toza te tosila yango nga toye nde koyebisa bango batika biso te baboma biso tokufa baya bango baya kobikisa biso po bango ba anglais bango parlement anglais bango na ba anglais bayibi ndenge babikisaka bato babikisa Europe oyo bato apoto Europe momi babikisa bango baya nde kobikisa biso so badotika biso ndenge tokosila toboyi tosila biso toboyi nde tozala na mokili oyo yango tozosenga tokosenga na bango awa na kati ya parlement pe tokosenga pe na peuple anglais mobimba pe kokumisa bango pe mingi kokumisa bango na ndenge bazokotela biso po mingi na kati ya Angleterre bazokotela biso ezala bato ya politique ezala ba journaliste bango ezala ba écrivain na bango bazokotela biso mingi na Congo pe na Afrika ya biso oyo ya Grand Lac yango nde koyende kokumisa bango kopesa bango matono merci na nyonso na balosala pona mboka na biso.
Alors, monseigneur, batu bakoki koloba que non, parce que zali mituna o ezongaka mingi, balobi que est-ce que ti mo colonie ni tokocha mite makaka na mindele, est-ce que zakaka Angleterre, France, États-Unis, nde fo bazwela biso solution à Congo ou bien biso moko tokozwa solution?
Te biso de ngana toyeba na France te anglais na Allemagne te États-Unis te kasi Angleterre. Pour ne pas Angleterre bakotela nde biso bakotela biso tango wana biso tozaki na biso lokola batute balako boma biso na pete na mulili ndenge wana moto wa congolais aloba likambo te balako boma biso na bato état indépendant du Congo anglais bakotelaka biso mikolo nde tozaka ndenge moko toza na manduki te mama toza na manduki te na mboka na biso toza na biso maboko pamba siko bango baza na manduki bato boma biso tosala ndenge nini tosala ndenge nini tokufaka ndenge wana.
Monseigneur balobi ke bango nde mutu batie Kabila, c'est comme si bango mutu bazo supporter Kabila parce que ceux qui bambonaka ke peuple a koufi parce que peuple a koufi bazolo ba plus de 6 millions mais c'est le cas même nombre à 6 millions. Mais pourquoi bakolongola Kabila facilement te po balongola babomana ba Kadhafi na facilité mais pourquoi ya Congo il faut biso to banda yo longwa ti musika ba conférence salama batu ba kene na ba parlement batu ba lela est-ce que vraiment papa on dit vraiment que bango bazomona to bazomona
bon ngana za monseigneur te mama papa mon bokatala bokasa ngana za monseigneur te bon
za abe
voilà ya solo mama ndengo solo bawana ya solo makamo yo lobi pona ni bango bazolongola Kabila te yango to biso to yende ko yebisa bango te to bango balongola biso moto wana donc so to ya ko dekolela pona pasi nde eleki balongola biso moto na so bango batiaki ye balongola ye so za bango te baluka banana batiaki ye pe balongola ye yango biso tozosenga eloko mosusu te biso ngana ndenga na lobi mama to na manduki te bana biso maboko pamba yango wana biso yolela bawo bazana manduki baya nde kosalisa biso mboka na biso ezosenga sikoyo nde lisalisi biso moko tokoka te mpo biso moko toza na manduki te biso moko toza nde maboko pamba toza lokola bakongo oyo ya 1876 tina 1909 oyo bato leopoldi bazalaki koboma lokola bantaba oyo bakanambe bazwi manduki na ndeko na ye Kagame mpona koboma biso lokola bantaba yango biso lobi koboma eleki mama tala ndenge bana biso bazokufa na Kisasa tala ndenge bandeko bazokufa na Kasai tala ndenge bandeko bazokufa na Katanga bandeko bazosila na Kivu tosilaka ndenge wana yango tolobi te koboma oyo esengeli esila bandeko oyo bango bazali nde na bakoki nde kosala yango yango toyebisa bango mingi na kati ya bango balingi mpe biso te kasi mususu mpe balingi biso tosenga na bao basalinga biso bayebisa bao balingaka biso te bango nde batika kotindika Kanambe na bato na ye bakotela nde biso
sikoyo koloba nini toyoki on dirait balaïque basuspendre bamarche eza vrai
basuspendre te balobi nde oyo makambo nde bango basalaki epesi nde mbuma epesi batangi mbuma lokola zomi batangi tala boye na Kanambe oyo alobaka te aloba mpona nini mpo na marche wana na président oyo bazala kotala makambo ya Kongo lokola iloko ya pamba bango nyonso bazoya na Kongo mpona makambo nini eza na Kongo lingi olobake balobi ke mbuma oyo tobandi nde kozwa bambuma na ya bituma oyo biso tozali kosala kasi nde sikoyo nde tokanisa makambo nini tokosala mpo na lobi mpo marche tosali yango totikaka na marche wana biso tokosala makambo mosusu te mpe tokosala marche ya ndenge nini yango balobi nde mikolo oyo nde liboso tokunda bandeko bakufi tokanisa makambo nini tokosala mpe tokoyebisa bino makambo nini ekoleka kasi bakangi bamarche te marche nde ekangami te bandeko bakangisa teke makambo esi
bato bakoma oloba deja toyebaki basango bakotika biso omoni catholique ebandaka kaka boye batiki na bango siko peuple akosuka wapi rosi ake ofele oyo papa uti otanga na mbandaka Eric bake ofele papa
te bake ofele te bake ofele te biso baza bandeko na biso bala baleki na biso wana te ko rosi wana lokola rosi aza na bandeko na ya sango bandeko na sango ne biso basango ne biso rosi aza na banoko na ye basango banoko na ye basango ne biso oyo do biso tokotika bango te mwana na biso oyo akufi boloko wana akufi na mbandaka mwana na biso tokotika bango te tokotika bango ndenge nini biso nyonso tozala mpasi liwa basango bazoboma bango mpe ndenge moko basango bazosila bamarcel bazosila donc Kanambe azoboma atala te ye atala sango te atala mwana te atala mama te atala mwana te azoboma bato nyonso azoboma bango yango wana nde biso bakanisa te ke eza na moto akotika nde bato basila soko ndenge wana biso nyonso tokosila te yango nanango
mpo bokoma okufa yango bobangi bostope bamarche
te ndenge nalobi bamarche bastope te biso nyonso takanisi ata yo moko mpe toza koloba sikoyo tokosala ndenge nini ezalaka bamarche kaka bato bakufaka tokosala ndenge nini yango wana sikoyo ezosenga nde kokanisa makambo nini tokosala mpo te makambo oyo ya pasi oyo ekende ya libela kalinama na bato na bakende ya libela nde bomoto ya solo ezonga na kati ya mboka na biso
tika na tungiso mwa muke lokola lelo tozwi yo eza seule occasion bandeko balanda sikoyo papa na biso loba nanu papa bino bozali bato biso totyaki motema surtout balandi oyo balandaka ngai totyaki motema na basango soki lelo bolobi bamarche bostope yango pour le moment ou bien bosuspendre yango bino mpe bosimbaka minduki te plan A ezalaki 5 boke bopesi Kabila inane oyo nga na benga yango plan B papa boye na bamarche sikoyo bosuspendre bamarche sikoyo plan C eza nini papa minduki mpe bosimbaka te donc botiki biso kaka boye na esanga
te ndenge nalobi awa ezali te ke batiki bakoki kotika te nga nalobi bato wana bato ya comité de laïque ya coordination bamonanaka te bazali kobombana bazobanga nde bazobanga Kanambe aboma bango bosikoyo bango otika ndenge nini baya kobima fo Kanambe asilisa bango te batiki te ata moke bazalaka na kati ya bitumba esili te nde sikoyo ezosenga nde stratégie mosusu ndenge nini na kosala sikoyo mpo na makambo oyo ekende liboso tolongi tosali boyeboye tolongi tozwi nde mbuma oyo ese mbuma yango ekoki te so mpona kobakisa tosala ndenge nini kaka marche kaka te bamarche kozala makambo mosusu mpe ekoya bango balobi ndenge wana donc bandeko bazela bazala bafungola matoi bakoyoka te makambo bayebisi bango nde makambo wana bango nde bakolanda
Mot de la fin na bato ba Hollande.
Mot de la fin on na dobi bandeko na ngai bana Congo synthèse lokola na tolinga bino nyonso. Toyeba makamba Congo eza ya moto moko te. Tokanisa te ke makamba Congo eza ya Congo ya comité de laïque ya coordination, ou bien eza ba journaliste, ou bien eza ba sango, eza biso nyonso. Moto na moto esika azali atia maboko pona makambo ya Congo esila. Yo sika ata oza mama oteka na wenze oza nde na makambo yo ko sala po makambo Congo esila ata yo oza mwana ya campus na mboka na biso oza na oyo ko sala po makambo na yo esila yo oza journaliste na biso ndenge moko moto nyonso sika azali efo esengeli afungola abimisande oyo ye mayele pote makambo oyo ezepo zotungisa biso esila tutika teka makambo kana moto moko bien na bato moko po bandeka na biso ya le comité de coordination babimaka te bazala kola na boloko chiko ezosenga biso ngote bimisa bango na kati ya boloko wana to bimisa bango na kati ya boloko na ndenge biso tokokota na makambo oyo tokokotela bango pe tokolobela bango po bango babima na kati ya boloko oyo mboka na biso kuma boloko po na biso nyonso ezosenga ne mboka na biso kuma mboka ya bato ndenge na lobi awa boloko wana esala nini esila to kuma bato ya solo nini boumbu oyo ya kaname na bato na ndeko na ye Kagame esila na kati ya mboka na biso wana makambo na lobi nga koma na ngai abe pinipini sasai.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien maman.
Voilà, tozo continuer l'intervention na biso toza pe awa na ye moko balobi de big lady. Donc ngabo nazo présenter balobi maman na biso ye pena maman présidente azali maman na biso la femme légitime ya papa na biso Chibangu. Président Chibangu ya UPA. Alors ye moko pena lelo tozane annonce. Alors maman bonjour.
Bonjour maman.
Moi lelo to monio pour la première fois na monio awa na kacha conférence bandeko bazolanda biso impression na yo eza nini par rapport à la conférence et Samina Poka.
Vraiment elle est très bien. Makambo le mais qui très important et surtout on a retenir c'est que il faut biso bato grand lac tous ensemble pour na bamboka na biso parce que ceux qui mboka moko ezu changement bamboka nyonso ezu changement. Je pense que ba pesi ba idée moko bien ba stratégie moko pas très bien na ba très bon conseil. Je pense que c'est des conseils à suivre.
Est-ce que maman ba genre ya ba conférence à boy et quoi peut qu'on meme na biso solution na Congo?
Oui, je pense que c'est très positif parce que dengue papa oya ndeko na biso Uganda lobaki alobi que après réunion oyo bakosala ba recommandation. Tant bakosala ba recommandation bakoti nango na gouvernement et c'est comme ça que le gouvernement travaille avec des recommandations. Au moins que c'est une réunion assez importante. Et ça qui pour na bayoka to peut ça ba piste de solution. Comment faire et vraiment ba piste de solution est que il faut changement na Ouganda d'abord. Il me semble que Ouganda est un pays vraiment principal, un peu principal, donc vraiment Ouganda c'est le poids du problème, c'est l'Ouganda, c'est Museveni. Donc Biya Kende et puis Kagame Kende, Kabila Kende. Donc je pense que c'est là qui est très clair. Et moi je suis très positive, je pense que vous allez là-bas, on a suivi mon cas très bien.
Message no ko pesa na bato ba Hollande.
Message d'anga surtout dans le peuple congolais, et ça que bien qu'on parle du Congo, il faut tout bon de la paix pour le Congo. Parce que le problème du Congo n'est pas seulement un problème qui est physique, ce n'est pas seulement un problème politique, mais un problème aussi très spirituel. On fait souvent référence à la prophétie à Kimbangu et tout, mais est-ce que tu as la prophétie à Kimbangu Lobakinini? Même pas que Kimbangu Lobakinini, mais qu'est-ce que Dieu avait dit à travers Kimbangu? Quand Dieu avait dit cela, est-ce qu'il faut que tu aies comme ici qu'on a niveau ni la prophétie? Parce que ça nous a même temps quand le temps arrive, le Seigneur revient accomplir sa parole. Le Seigneur travaille au bon moment. Donc, est-ce que tu commis un moment par rapport à la prophétie? Il faut te comprendre. Ce qui te commis un moment où il y a libération, selon la prophétie, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? N'attend la libération. Est-ce que tu as ou bien tu commis dans la polémique ou bien dans la discussion? C'est très important. Ceux qui prophétient, la prophétie marche avec la prière. Il faut toujours, et ça c'est une guidance, mais il y a qu'à la prière. On a aussi le professeur Alain Moloto, c'est aussi très clair que changement est causal. Il y aura une 5e république qui sera une république bénie. Donc, Congo est changé, il y aura la paix, sécurité et tout. Nzamba Loba qui a tiré les bisous makomi. Tout le monde a Israël, les enfants d'Israël, qui ont marché dans la prophétie. Qui tout le temps qu'ils ont là, on s'en va l'obaki. Tant qu'il y a un esclavagisme, par exemple, comment il s'appelle, je crois Daniel, à comprendre comment ça c'est l'année, 70 ans, il faut tous en Babylone, il faut tous la liberté. Mais aïeba kango ndengenini, et comment maki? Dans à quelque temps, c'est yango ne peut se mailler que na ta prière, na bando bonde là. C'est toujours comme ça avec Dieu. Donc prenons compte de la prophétie. Mais c'était la parole de Dieu. La parole de Dieu doit absolument s'accomplir. Donc, mais s'accomplit comment? Avec la prière, avec l'unité, avec la prière.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci maman. Là, c'est pas de la mondiale.
Alors, Bandeko. Bye bye. Et puis, un grand merci aussi à Congo Synthèse. Je te remercie, Bino. Tout le monde à Bino prochainement. Merci beaucoup. Bye bye, bye bye, bye bye.